Hi everyone, welcome to VRC with Gaurav. In this video, we are going to solve RC passage number 14 from the book RC 99 by Aristotle Prep. As usual, I recommend that you pause the video here, read the entire passage, use the timestamps that I've put in the description box to go to the questions, jot down the answers, then come back to this point to check whether your comprehension and whether your answers are correct or not. Okay? Without any delay, let's begin. Coming to the coming to the genre of the passage, you could park it somewhere maybe on the intersections of, let us say, social sciences, because it is talking about what is happening in society, or maybe there is a little bit of touch about anthropology also, because we are talking about uh, a particular branch of mankind, namely women and their specific needs, special interest group, all that stuff. Or maybe very broadly, if you're wanting to classify it, maybe you can also call it as a humanities passage. Okay? But yes, anyway, the classification, the name of the genre does not matter. What matters is the content comprehension and, of course, cracking the right answer. All right. So coming to the part where the passage is written, the language that is used here, not a very pleasant read. Okay, really not a pleasant experience. Okay, so if you are someone who after reading the passage was like, यार ये क्या पढ़ लिया मैंने, मजा नहीं आया कुछ, or like that मोदी जी का मीम है ना, मजा नहीं आ रहा है, something like that. So please keep in mind that you are not alone there. You at least have someone like me जिसको मजा नहीं आया. ठीक है. Now, regarding the comprehension, also the language is not straightforward. A lot of negation type sentences are used. Now, what do I mean by negation type sentences? So, let me give you an example. Okay, very straightforward basic fact: the sun rises in the east. Okay, so the author does not say the sun rises in the east. No, what does he say? The sun does not rise in the west. The sun does not rise in the north. The sun does not rise in the south. यार चार डायरेक्शन होते हैं, तीन में नहीं हो रहा है. Instead of giving us three random sentences, couldn't you have said simply that the sun rises in the east? No, this is the style. No, negation में बात कर रहा है. So makes for the complexity, or this makes it somewhat irritating also in some places. ठीक है. And he comes to his main mudda, his main contention, very late in the passage. The last sentence of the third paragraph is what we can call the entire crux of the discussion. Okay, so let me come to that part first, and then I'll give the explanation for rest of the passage. And yes, it would not be possible for me to walk through each of the sentence and give its explanation. So given the complexity, given the unusual language of the passage, if you have a doubt in any specific part or in any specific sentence, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll try to explain it to you as well as possible. Okay. Coming to the most relevant parts of the passage, I'll highlight those for you. The main contention, the main part, or that the author wants to convince you about, is this, which I'm highlighting right now in the third paragraph. This is his main contention. This is his main argument throughout the passage. Okay. And how does he go about convincing us about this? Okay. So the first focus area is special interest group. Author says that there are different groups, or women can be classified as a group, but as a group, can we say कि women as a group, do they have special interests? Do they require some special attention, special representation, so that their particular needs, wants, and problems can be solved with some special focus or some special attention? Maybe. And of course, the author wants to convince us about the sentence which I've highlighted in the third paragraph. And how does he go about explaining this special interest group ka concept? What does he mean by this? So he goes to a lot of length and a lot of justification he is providing कि अरे नहीं आप मुझे गलत मत समझो, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this. What are you saying? I'm saying this. So instead of plainly putting forward what he means, he spends a lot of time saying, no, I don't mean this. Please don't misunderstand me. So that part a bit unusual, a bit difficult to crack. And he explains this to us. One of his points he explains to us using an analogy also about labor interest group. Okay. So let me explain the second paragraph first. In this passage, actually, I'm going to do a bit of back and forth so that the picture before you is a bit coherent. The language of the passage, I did not like it a lot. That's why this jumla from my end. Okay. So author starts off by raising the question that women do women need to be classified as a special interest group? Okay, ठीक है. Yes, he wants to convince us about this. And what are the features of interest group? So first, when I say that women are a special interest group, so इसका मीनिंग ये है क्या that the problems being faced by women are isolated. The problems being faced by women are only exclusively limited to only them, and no one else in the society is bothered about it, or nobody else needs to be concerned about these problems. Is that the case? No. And how can we say that? Author uses the example of labor. Right? Let us say labor in the sense workers. Workers के group होते हैं wherever there is massive industry, large scale factories present. Obviously, labor unions, labor focus groups, trade unions, all of them are a part and parcel of it. So he uses that analogy before us. He says कि देखो यार, labor as a group हम पकड़ते हैं, and everybody recognizes that workers are a special interest group. They need special representation. They face unique set of problems. But इसका मतलब ये नहीं है that the problems that they face are exclusive to them. No. Let us say this is a set of issues, set of concerns which labor has. So author says the same set of issues are also a part of concern of government. They are also a part and parcel of focus coming in from the management, from the industry, from the companies. Okay. And also quite unlikely, they are also the focus of, let's say, consumers. So each of these four groups will take a look at this issue, this set of problem with their own perspective and their own concerns in their own mind. So what is he trying to convince us about this? Using this labor का example in the second paragraph, that कोई भी अगर एक special interest group होता है, if a special interest group happens to be the case, does not mean they face supremely unique problem. No. The problem is shared among different entities. They need a special attention, they need special representation because their point of view, their POV is unique. That's it. So the same thing he says about women also. And it's not like women के problems are completely alien from the society. No. Other members, मतलब namely men, they also share particular some issues. But yes, women require some kind of special representation, some special interest. That's it. Okay? So that is an important point which I want to bring to your attention. Fairly important because the author has dedicated a lot of energy in explaining this concern of this. Okay. So with that out of the way, what is the second concern? Let us jot this down actually. First of all, shared problems. Okay. Their problems are not supremely unique or isolated. Okay. They are shared problems. Next. Coming to this third paragraph. Okay. Once again, take a look at the kind of negation he is using. Nor does my definition mean that all the members are consciously allied. हाँ, वो मैं ये नहीं कहना चाहता कि वो सब लोग एकजुट होकर बात करें. भाई सीधा सीधा बात करो ना. Okay. What is meant by सीधा सीधा बात here? That just because women are a special interest group does not mean that all women are united around this point. ठीक है. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप जाके बात करो दुनिया के महिलाओं के साथ में तो दे ऑल बी एबल टू टेल यू कि हाँ हाँ हम एक स्पेशल इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप है, वी नीड स्पेशल फोकस्ड रिप्रेजेंटेशन, स्पेशल इंटरेस्ट, स्पेशल प्रॉब्लम्स. जरूरी नहीं है. इट इज पॉसिबल कि मेनी women are literally completely unaware, ignorant about this concept. ठीक है. So that part is also very important. Let's plot this down. Not necessarily that all are aware of this. Okay. And then doing this kind of back and forth, finally the author comes to this conclusion, which I've already highlighted at the start for you. कि देखो भाई, keeping all these things in mind, मैं तो ये मानता हूँ, and research is also backing me. By the way, research in various fields of social science, he's saying कि women do have a distinct position in society and they do have a shared set of problems with other people, of course, which means men, that characterize a special interest. Okay, so बात की एक बात, that women are a special interest group. They have some shared problems. They might not be completely aware of this 100%. Some women are aware, some are not. ठीक है. Moving ahead, the last and the penultimate paragraph, they are a bit complex. ठीक है. Now coming to the fourth paragraph, what does the author say here? कि जो भी ये सेपरेट शेयर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स है, जो भी डिस्टिंक्ट पोजीशन है विमेन की, सबसे प्रोमिनेंटली, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली, वेयर कैन यू ऑब्जर्व दिस? You can observe this in perhaps maybe the oldest institution out there, the modern family, the family, or rather, let's say the family. Okay. तो ऑथर सेज दैट चलो ठीक है, परिवार ये जो डेफिनेशन है इसके अंदर में अलग अलग मेंबर्स के क्या रोल होते हैं, व्हाट रोल डू वुमेन प्ले, व्हाट रोल डू मेन प्ले, ऑल दैट स्टफ. For the past some time, definitely some democratization has happened. Some equality has actually become commonplace now. ठीक है, people are starting to accept that men and women do share a lot of problems and they need to be treated equally. Otherwise, what was the traditional outlook that men are superior, women are inferior? So author is saying, चलो ठीक है, accept some kind of equality has come about, but, and this is a very important but, what does he say? That this does not mean कि women के problem खत्म हो गए. Rather, अगर आप 100 साल पुरानी पोजीशन देखो उनकी at the turn of the century, let me highlight that sentence before you. Time use studies show that women spend about the same amount of time, do the same amount of housework and childcare as women did at the turn of century. मतलब करीब करीब 100 साल पहले जितना टाइम women used to spend on looking after the house, household work and looking after children, almost the same amount of time women are also doing that today. तो कहीं ना कहीं ये सोचने लायक बात हो गई कि even though some kind of equality has come about, but still the time which is going into looking after some really mundane job, mundane task, women have no relief there. ठीक है. Next comes another volley of negation sentences. And here, the most important part that you need to keep in mind is this word not. Okay? Author is saying कि when I say कि men are a distinct group, women are a distinct group, I am not saying one, I am not saying two, I am not saying three. इस तरीके से बात करता है author. Once again बहुत घुमा घुमा के बात किया है. So what is the author actually implying? Let me jot it down before you once again. Let's cut through all the negation bullshit and try to arrive at the main proper concern of the author. ठीक है. अगर आपको ये चीज समझ में आ जाती है, then the questions are actually a cakewalk. What is the author saying when he says women have a distinct position? What does he imply by that? He is implying that I am not saying that women are conscious of these differences. मतलब सारी women aware है इस बात को लेकर, ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है. What does it mean? That some women are unaware of this. What is this? This means that women are a separate group, or women have some distinct position, women have some distinct needs. Second, they do not define themselves, as having special interests requiring representation. So once again, sort of this first point also extended over here. They are not aware that they require special attention. Rather, let me make it grammatically more correct. Not all are aware that they require special representation. Some might be aware, some might not be aware. Next, third point. The author, I am not saying that men and women disagree on policy issues. Okay? तो author कहता है कि men और women के झगड़े हो गए भाई हर policy issues के ऊपर पे. I am not saying this. देख रहे हो? Negation, negation. So what does he mean? He means he is trying to imply that men and women possibly agree on policy issues. मतलब ऐसे कुछ कुछ एरियाज है जहां पर मेन एंड वुमेन में अग्रीमेंट है. ओके, इट्स नॉट दैट दे आर एट लॉगर-हेड्स विद ईच अदर ऑल द टाइम. ठीक है. So once again, rounding off the part in the 4 paragraphs, author is very clear that women are a special interest group, they require special representation, but some might be aware of it, some might not be aware of this need. Men and women share some problems, although women have a separate position, but the problems shared are quite common with men. Men and women actually agree on some things. It's not necessary that they fight on everything. Okay? So these are the three most important points which the author has convinced us about in the 4 paragraphs. Okay? Now moving ahead. The last paragraph, if you want, you can paraphrase it like the way I have written on the screen. Uh, Now, it all depends on the kind of reader you are, the kind of grip that you have on reading comprehension. Someone like me did not paraphrase this, or if you are an absolute beginner and struggled with this passage, then paraphrasing like this could possibly help you. So, it's completely a call. If you wish, you can pause the video here and jot down the points. Okay. Meanwhile, let me move ahead and come to the last paragraph. Finally, in the last paragraph, the author is being fairly straightforward about what he wants to tell the reader about. He's saying that, देखो यार, मतलब all said and done, women face a lot of problems in society with respect to their needs, with respect to their requirements, their standing in society. क्यों? क्योंकि even though some kind of progress, even though some kind of equality has come about, but still there are a lot of issues where they face discrimination or maybe some inferior standpoint. What is given over here? That law and public policy, they continue to create and reinforce differences. मतलब men और women का जो standing है इतने सारे matters में अभी भी बहुत different है. What are those matters? Ranging from protection from violence, ranging from property and contract matters, meaning that largely inheritance or something like that, ranging from fertility and childcare, how to bring up children, educational opportunities, civic rights and obligations. So practically almost all aspects of social life may men and women have a wide chasm, they have a wide gap in the way they are treated, in the way they are looked at. Okay? So what does this tell us? Yes, because of this, author is proving to us that nahi, women require special representation, women require special interest grouping. That's it. Okay? And the closing remark of the author is also fairly important. He is saying कि देखो यार, when it comes to education, first of all, women are disadvantaged when it comes to education. They have less education than men, and in case they have equal at par education with men, the opportunities available to them not equal. Okay, and where they may achieve equivalent levels of education, segregation by field and therefore skills remains rampant. मतलब फिर भी उनकी पढ़ाई भली सेम लेवल पे हुई होगी, but still they are discriminated against. So all in all, wrapping up the passage, what does the author want to say? He's simply driving home the point that women are a special interest group. They require special representation. Not all women are aware about this. Not all of them are consciously united in this. Men and women might agree on some policy issues. It's not necessary that just because women have a distinct position, men and women fight with each other every day and night over everything. No, not necessary. Some kind of agreement is still there. But yes, all said and done, women are treated, let us say, a bit distinctly, or rather still face quite a lot of discrimination on almost all major aspects of social life, and hence require special representation. That's it. Okay, so I hope that you understood the paragraph, and if you did, if you understood the passage, like the comprehension, please hit the like, share and subscribe button. Okay, also if you want to know about my batches for VRC, which I take for CAT, SNAP, ZAT, OMET, you can go to the very end of this video where I have given you my mail ID and my contact number. You can get in touch with me through that, and I'll help you out, or other I'll be able to inform you about my latest batches for the respective exams. Okay, chalo. With that in mind, let's go to the questions now. According to the passage, which of the following experiences do modern women, okay, they have most nearly in common with women who lived in 1900? This should be an easy question for you. Why? Because in the passage, only in one place is the author making a comparison between today's women and women from 100 years ago. That's it. And where is that part? Let me highlight it before you. Sorry, this part that I've already underlined. That's it. That the amount of time that women spend on housework is practically the same as they did 100 years ago. बाकी सारे parameters पे author is obviously spending a lot of time and energy on trying to convince us कि women की आज की हालात जो है, it's not very rosy. They face a lot of problems today. But whether the problems they face today were they the same 100 years ago, or were they worse, or were they better, we have no idea. We have only one idea, one about one concept. That's it, and that is why it should become your answer and nothing else. The answer becomes naturally what? Answer option B. They spend about the same amount of time on housework, full stop. Okay. So although options A, C, D, E, they are true with respect to their situation today, but we have no idea what the situation was 100 years ago. And you're not allowed to apply your own general GK knowledge to this. Okay? Chalo. With that in mind, let's go to the next question. Okay. Based on the passage, which of the following issues the author is most concerned about the problem of? So, all in all, passage is asking the central concern of the author, the central purpose, the main purpose, main concern of the author. And the main concern is nothing but this, that women do have a distinct position, they characterize a special interest, and they require special representation. That's it. ठीक है, पूरा पैसेज उसी के अराउंड घूम रहा है. All other concerns are secondary or maybe even trivial. Let's go through the options and figure out which should be the answer. Option A, the main concern of the author, the history of women's demands for representation as a group. Oops, यहाँ पे दिक्कत आ गई. Okay, although it is talking about women representation as a group, this is the concern of the author, but history of that is not discussed at all in the passage. ठीक है, द हिस्ट्री ऑफ इट, ये डिमांड कब शुरू हुई, कौन इसमें प्रोपोनेंट्स थे मेन, who were the leaders of this movement, who succeeded, who failed, blah blah blah. None of this history is mentioned before us. So that is why option A is actually not a good answer. It has this out of scope wording of history of demands. No, wrong. We hardly have any idea about the history of this entire concept. Okay. B, recent changes in the status of women in society. What? No, no, no. Changes in the status of women in society, that to recent changes. कहाँ दिया है? कहीं नहीं दिया है. Rather, their current position, current dilemma in society, that is mentioned to us. Nothing else. ठीक है? कि भाई पहले ऐसा था, फिर पिछले 20 साल में हालात ऐसे बदल चुके हैं. कहीं तो नहीं दिया है. Rather, in the fourth paragraph, the blue part that I've highlighted, you can see that some similarity between 100 years ago and today's women is highlighted before us. तो changes तो गए गड्ढे में, हमें तो और similarity बताई गई है यहाँ पे. So option B also takes a massive beating actually, and hence we have to kick it out. Moving ahead, option C, opposing views concerning women's awareness of their own special interest. इसका meaning क्या होता है कि women, are they aware of this requirement of being special interest? तो passage में आपको दो opposite views दिए गए, that some people support this, yes, 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 women are aware they require representation, and the opposite view is women are not at all aware that they require special attention, special representation. Okay, तो क्या ये नोकझोंक की गई है पैसेज में? नो, ऑथर इज सिंपली सेइंग कि देखो, मेरा आइडिया तो क्लियर है, I want women being given special interest. ठीक है. Secondly, not all women might be aware of it. Full stop. Now, whether people are fighting over this or some kind of debate is going on, opposing views are mentioned, nothing, none of that is mentioned in the passage. So C also takes a beating, gets kicked out. D, the criteria that would justify group representation for women. Yes, 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 yes. The author is continually highlighting the different criteria, the different reasons why he believes that women require a special representation in society. Yes, their socio-economic standing, problems with their education, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So that is why option D is the answer over here. And option E, uplifting the status of women in modern society. This is very tangential to the entire discussion. Okay? This is something that the author would support कि हाँ यार जरूरी है women को special interest देना और उनका status uplift करना. They face still a lot of discrimination in society. But in passage he has not explicitly mentioned it. He is simply trying to convince the reader about this part which I've highlighted over here. That's it. ठीक है? चलो, with that in mind, let's go to the next question. Still, if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. More than glad to help you out. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button meanwhile. And now, let's go to the third question. Passage offers support for concluding that which of the following is an important problem confronting women today. ठीक है कि आपके सामने ढेर सारे प्रॉब्लम आगे 5 लिखे गए हैं, ऑथर ने सबसे ज्यादा सपोर्ट कौन से प्रॉब्लम को दिया है, पैसेज में सबसे ज्यादा आपको सपोर्ट कौन से प्रॉब्लम को एक्सेप्ट करने में सपोर्ट किया, ठीक है। मल्टीपल प्रॉब्लम्स एक्चुअली हैव बीन हाइलाइटेड, बट 100 बात की एक बात, व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम हाइलाइटेड, दैट women face some problems which although are shared with men in society, but the position of women is distinct. They require a separate position, they require special representation, they are a special interest group. ठीक है, चलो let's see. Option A, women are in a different socio-economic position from that of men. ठीक है, this is one of the detail. ठीक है, no, wait a minute, I think I am going wrong over here. Just give me a second, just give me a second. Okay, no, my bad, sorry. Let's go from the reverse order. Option E, passage offer most support for sexual harassment at the workplace. No, इसका तो नाम भी नहीं है दूर दूर तक के पूरे पैसेज में, so option E is the easiest to throw out. Okay, out. Option D, fourth, a lack of educational opportunities has inhibited women. Inhibit matlab to create obstacles, to stop from succeeding. So for easy purpose, let us say to stop. So a lack of educational opportunities has stopped women from voicing their concerns. A bit of a head scratcher? No. Look, author is driving home this point that yes, women face discrimination when it comes to educational opportunities. It is actually his closing remark over here that women in almost all countries, they get less education than men. But this less education preventing them from speaking up, has this causal relationship been built? No. We have no idea what is stopping women from voicing their concerns. Okay? We know on one hand that yes, they face problems with their education, but that lack of education is leading them not being able to voice their concerns. Wrong. Okay? So out of scope framing of option D has happened, and that is why option D takes a beating and obviously has to be rejected. Out. C, passage offers the most support for option C. क्या है? And women do not qualify as an interest group. भाई author गोली से उड़ा देगा आपको, बंदूक लेगा और गोली से उड़ा देगा. Time and again he is reinforcing the exact opposite of this, that women are a special interest group. Out. B, men differ greatly from women in the answers they propose. No. Once again, the opposite of this is mentioned. Men and women as groups now disagree on policy issues in which women might have a special interest. अब आप बोलोगे सर यही तो लिखा है ऑप्शन सी में, सॉरी बी में. बॉस, दैट इज व्हाट आई सेड. दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम विद दिस. ये नॉट जो है ना, दैट इज द हेडलाइनर ऑफ दिस. ऑथर इज सेइंग आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट men and women disagree. Two negatives make a positive, not disagree. Matlab some kind of agreement. So it means men and women have some kind of agreement on policy issues. And what does option B say? Nine, they greatly differ. So as you can see, option B and what the option one other wants to say are opposite of each other, and hence answer naturally becomes answer option A. That women are in a different socio-economic position from that of men. Yes, he is extending support to this in the passage, and time and again he is mentioning this. यहाँ पे clear cut उन्होंने लिखा है that women do have a distinct position in society. Women do have different socio-economic standing. The entire last paragraph is focused on it. कि आप कोई भी मैटर उठाओ, प्रॉपर्टी, इनहेरिटेंस, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मैटर्स, चाइल्ड रेयरिंग, civic rights and obligations, in almost all of these things women are looked at separately. Okay, so because of this option A becomes the answer. I hope that this is clear to you. Still, if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. And now let's go to the last question and let's get be done with this ordeal. Okay, I did not like this passage, man. I did not. Very boring. What is the main function of paragraphs 1, 2, 3? Okay, 1, 2 and 3. क्यों लिखा भाई? ये तीन पैराग्राफ ऑथर ने लिखे क्यों है? So utility based question, the way of cracking this kind of question is not so straightforward. First of all, you have to go back to the passage, read the entire thing, and then look minutely at the structure of what is written before us. The author starts off the discussion by saying, यार चलो हम analyze करके देखते हैं कि भाई women as a group, do they have unique separate characteristics? Do they require or do they have special interest जिसके लिए एक separate representative, separate representation होना चाहिए? है क्या? The author is raising a genuine question over here, and then he ends up answering that question to the at the very end of the third paragraph. So it's like what is happening in para 1 to 3. Author picks up a question, answers it, and gives an affirmative answer at the end. Okay? So that is the reason why 1, 2, 3 are present before you. Function of paragraph 1, 2, 3 is that yes, convincing the reader that yes, women are a special interest group. He wants to drive home this point. That's it. Okay? So let's see which becomes the answer. Okay. Option A देखेंगे सबसे पहले. To assert that women should be treated as the equal of men. Rather, no. Author is actually considering that no, not necessarily equal. Women have a different position completely. Okay. So equality is not driven. Rather, he's saying that they do require special representation. You cannot paint them in the same shade as men. Keep that in mind. B. To discuss the legitimate definition of a political interest group. Now, this is a subset of para 1, 2, 3. The author has actually taken up this concept कि यार देखते हैं what is the definition, what is the meaning of the term special interest group. But he moves ahead of this definition very quickly. उसने थोड़ा time spend किया यहाँ पे when he is talking about labor interest group and how it's looked at, what are the other stakeholders in the process. But yes, he moves very quickly from that and he arrives at this main contention over here that yes, women are a particular special interest group. And what is option B saying? कि नहीं यार इसकी सही डेफिनेशन क्या होती है स्पेशल इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप की, बस यही घिसा पिटा है 1, 2, 3 में. नो, उसके बियॉन्ड भी बहुत ज्यादा नैरेटिव आगे जा चुका है. So that is why B is also out. C. To state that women qualify as a political interest group. Correct. Bang on point. This is very much correct. Yes, that is the purpose of para 1, 2, 3. Yes, women are a particularly special interest group, especially with respect to political issues, unique politically relevant characteristics. Do women as a group have that? Yes, sir, they do. Okay, that is why option C becomes the answer. Okay, D and E are very easy to reject. You should be able to throw them out after going through the explanation over here. Okay, still, if you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Once again, I would like to mention that I coach aspirants for VRC section for exams like CAT, SNAP, NMAT, and XAT. If you are interested in looking for some dedicated coaching for the VRC section with respect to these exams, you can reach out to me on this mail ID or this mobile number to get details of the batches that I take. Okay? Chalo then. Thanks a lot once again, and I'll see you in the next one. Tata, bye-bye, and take care.